Hi, I'm Jo Martin from One of Many, and today I want to talk about what men just don't know, and that is the experience of being a woman. There is no possible way really that a man can know what it is to grow up as a woman in this day and age. And yes, while so much has changed, still a lot has stayed very much the same. The cultural paradigm that we grow up in, the countries, the workspaces, the families that we grow up in suffer from a deep unconscious bias towards the male. And as a woman, we may or may not even be aware of it ourselves. As I said, it's an unconscious bias. If you had asked me at the age of 23 whether it was any different being a woman versus being a man in the world, I would say absolutely not. But the more I dig in, the more I speak to women, the more I lift the lid on this, it is so clear that I wasn't even aware how much harder I had to work in med school than men. I wasn't even aware of how much more I had to overcome than the guys that I was participating with. Because you've just done it your whole life, right? So my invitation is to look below the surface, because there's very interesting research that shows what's going on there. For example, recently a New York Times article stated research showing that women are 50% more likely to volunteer for the jobs in work that nobody else wants to do. You know, all of those rubbishy, horrible little jobs that no one else wants to do, a woman is 50% more likely to volunteer for them. Why is that? Is it because of the way she's been brought up? Is it because of our natural compassion or humility? Who knows? And an American study showed recently that married women do more housework than single women. Now I find that's really interesting because there's two adults in the house now and the woman is not doing less housework but actually more housework, perhaps with all of the additional shirts she has to iron perhaps, or the additional meals that she might not otherwise cook but she's now cooking. Who knows how that looks? But when a woman is in partnership, she's doing more rather than less on average. Why does all of this happen? I don't know that I've got the simple answer here, but I think a lot of it is to do with the way that of all of the unchallenged assumptions about what is women's work and what isn't. All of this unconscious bias that is under the hood of society and in the professional work. That's why things like the gender pay gap is such a difficult thing to really dig into and undermine, because think about it. Think about that junior staff woman and that junior staff man. No one's holding a gun to her head saying, you be the person to volunteer and take the minutes in the meeting when nobody else is volunteering. But every little thing that she's learned growing up is that she should offer to help out. You know, and all of us will dig deep and offer to help out. But if we're the people who volunteer to take those minutes in the meeting, we end up with an additional task on our task list every week, which is organize those minute meetings, which means we're not available. We don't have that extra bit of time now to do perhaps the stretch jobs or the things which gives the guy who we're sitting alongside the opportunity for promotion, the opportunity to further things, because they're not just doing general admin tasks. See how this works? It's those little things that we tend to volunteer because of those stuff that can contribute here. It's way bigger than just one thing. Let's face it, women, we will all roll up our sleeves to get shit done when we need to. Whether it's in the office, whether it's in our homes, if stuff needs doing, most of us are just going to do it. And yes, we can say the same for our male colleagues as well. But because of our unique upbringing, because of the factors, we tend to do it more than others. And I wonder the impact this is having for us. So I'm really interested. How's this landing for you? Was this something you were present to or totally unconscious of? For me, it's only since I've been working with women specifically and coaching women specifically, then started to lift the lid and look beneath the surface, that I've even seen my own unconscious bias around this piece. If we really want to transform the numbers of women in leadership, if we really want to transform the way that we bring up our girls and our grandchildren, something dramatic needs to change. How's this impacted you in your life? What do you notice? Please do share in the comments section. And if this resonates with you, please do feel free to share it with those people around you. Let's get the conversation going, because one thing I know for sure is it's conversations that are the starting place for this. If you'd like to hear more from us, please do like the video, but please let me know what you think.